Hello indie game fans, almost 5 months have passed in the year and it's been pretty great for indie games so far. However, we do have even more awesome titles to look forward to, so here are my picks of the best, all of which at least have a 2021 release window stated somewhere. Let's begin with the Riftbreaker, a sci-fi base building action RPG that simply looks awesome.
That seems too much for a sword.
Yes, but I've got just the thing. Gravity grenades.
Play as a scientist commando hybrid, sent to spearhead the construction of bases on alien planets, having to hack, slash and blast your way through aliens in order to do so.
Have you tried this baby? Should do the job.
Yeah, just like advertised.
Underground anomaly detected.
Okay, enable the geoscanner.
I've picked a trailer showcasing the endless variety of weapons in this, where you can equip various mods to augment your firepower.
Those guys don't look too friendly.
The cloaking field was invented for such situations. We won't pass them with invisibility.
Ooh, I've got an idea. Bouncing projectiles mod, Mr. Riggs.
Splendid, Ashley. Let's carry on.
The base defense aspects looks awesome, and the sheer number of enemies in this is impressive, almost on a scale like they are billions, but add in the Diablo style RPG aspect and Factorio style base building and you got me hook, line and sinker.
I guess they didn't expect that.
A huge enemy swarm is surrounding our base. We need to go back.
Okay, rift jump to base.
The first attack is coming from the east.
Okay, let's leave some presents for our guests.
Landmines are nice, but we need more towers. They are coming in from all directions.
Go time, baby.
Come to think of it, it should really be much higher on the list, but I just wanted to kick this video off with a bang. If you enjoy Souls-like titles, Eldest Souls will be a title to get, focusing solely on boss fights as you delve into the Citadel, seeking out the old gods to take them out. Of course, this title got my attention due to the pixel art and the Titan Souls vibe it gave me, but you won't get off that easy with one-hit kills. There is build variety based on upgrades from the bosses, so some amount of replayability, and it's a title not to be missed. No list covering upcoming indie games will be complete without mentioning the stunningly beautiful Cris Tales, a turn-based RPG that allows you to play in the past, present and future all at the same time. While the UI with the triangle isn't the most elegant way of showcasing this, I do think that it's a curiosity for this mechanic alone, and more than that, I am absolutely floored by the art and animation in this. After a number of delays, the release in July should be more or less firm and could potentially be a Game of the Year contender. Me being me, another pixel art entry makes a list with the beautiful No Place for Bravery. which, very aptly, has a grizzled old warrior roaming a war-torn world in search of his daughter. And it's this parental theme that I can certainly understand. It does look bloody and brutal, but gorgeous at the same time, with a tremendous amount of detail in the environments, and if you enjoyed titles like Hyperlight Drifter, certainly wishlist this if you have not. So Cyber Shadow from January was pretty good, and if you're in the mood for more awesome pixel art ninja action, then may I suggest Bushiden, a game that looks so sleek and fluid in motion, with what appears to be a large variety of attacks and abilities. Rather than being set in feudal Japan, this is a futuristic title where you're setting out to stop a resurrected villain who conveniently has an army of robots at his disposal, which is perfect for slicing and dicing. Fantastic look, combined with the sleek action, means that I cannot wait for this.
The life you choose.
It's set in a post-apocalyptic society where among the ruins of humanity, a religious society is beginning to grow, worshipping something known as the Great Hand, but based on the imagery in the trailer, appears to be a source of horrid, fleshy abominations in the vein of something like Bloodborne. If you're like me and enjoyed Morbid the Seven Acolytes from last year, this is a title to watch, although based on early demos, does not have a stamina system like the Souls-like title and may be friendlier in that way.
The path you took is paved with danger and hardship. But at the end of this road, there is no light.
From grimdark and depressing to oozing with cuteness, the action-adventure title Garden Story is high on my list since I love the aesthetic, with the main plotline of reclaiming the island from the rot by defeating it in combat and regrowing the gardens on the island sure sounds wonderful. It was just featured recently in one of my videos, so it's no wonder that it shows up yet again, where like the recently released Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion has some of the cutest character designs based on plants. I like the blending of farming and action-adventure, so if you do have any more suggestions, do drop them in the comments below. If you enjoy Diablo-style action RPGs like me, definitely have Alaloth, Champions of the Four Kingdoms on your radar, since it does look like a fantastic entry in the space. Set in a dark fantasy land with 4 kingdoms of different races, where you have to adventure and prevent the destruction of the world by a dark god. The combat is a highlight, with 3 ways to spec your characters in arms, gods, and nature, and even has 12 NPC companions that can come along for the ride, looking to be an excellent entry in the space. Since we last took a look at Eastward, it has gotten a brand new trailer that shows off more of this vibrant and fantastic looking world. An action-adventure title set in an apocalypse, where a toxic presence has forced much of humanity underground, play as an unlikely duo of a grizzled old miner and a mysterious girl as they find their way in this world. Needless to say, the art style is a highlight, with a tremendous amount of effort put into the details, so fingers crossed we will get a date soon. One of the best life sim titles out there not named Stardew Valley is the crafting-focused My Time at Portia, a title that has you taking over an abandoned workshop, restoring it to its former glory while helping the townsfolk. And if you enjoyed that title, its sequel, My Time at Sandrock, will be of interest as well. Rather than being set on a laid-back island, this instead takes place in a mining town, but the gist of it remains the same. Play as a builder who takes over a workshop, this time having to build machines to save the town from economic collapse. The sandy desert environment is an interesting alternative, where it does have many of the same elements like relationships with villagers, combat, a main story, RPG leveling mechanics and more, but these systems are supposed to be more advanced than what was in the previous offering, so of course I'm looking forward to this. Let's kick off the top 5 with the long in development Flynn Son of Crimson, a title that I must have had my eye on at least since 2018, where this gorgeous pixel art title does appear to have gone through its share of changes as well. Based on this new trailer, we do have a world map and distinct levels, meaning that it is no longer a Metroidvania as was once thought, but regardless, I simply adore the look of this game. Play as the titular character who needs to awaken the power of Crimson within him to tackle an evil threat in the form of the Scourge, the once banished evil force which is now beginning to stir. The guardian spirits of the land have been stolen and need to be reclaimed, where it's our hero's job to do so. I was drawn to this due to the pixel art, where the combat animations in this look particularly sweet as well, and with what appears to be challenging boss fights, a nice amount of biome and weapon variety, as well as interesting puzzle and traversal elements, of course I'm excited for this. Grime was near the top of my list of upcoming Metroidvania titles, so of course it gets a spot, where you harness the power of a living black hole to destroy your enemies. A 2D Souls-like title with deliberate combat and interesting living weapons. If you enjoyed the transforming weapons of Bloodborne, how does a centipede whip sound to you? It does also have a creepy, surreal aesthetic that will make your skin crawl, especially with the boss designs, although I'm waiting to hear more about the story and lore in this world. Think blasphemous but with less pixel art and religious motifs and more natural elements like rock and trees, and you get some idea, where the absorption and consumption of enemies should be an interesting mechanic to round off the package. I'm a fan of the pixel artist of Gestalt Steam and Cinder, having worked on games like Tower 57, so to see his art in motion in my favourite genre is a treat. This is a steampunk entry which used to be hot and may be making a comeback, where you're uncovering the secrets of a massive steam-powered city which just so happens to be the last bastion of humanity, finding out the dark secrets that the corrupt overseers are hiding. This is more on the Castlevania end of things, with an extensive RPG and leveling system, so if you prefer this type of Metroidvania, definitely give this a wishlist. Gorgeous environments, character portraits and animations makes this a no-brainer, so if you're like me and enjoy my taste in games, this is one to watch. The newest title to grace this list is Death's Door, a title where you play as a crow who is also a Grim Reaper, having to reap the souls of the dead, but you do run into some trouble on an ill-fated assignment. This is another Devolver Digital published title, so the quality should be there, coming to us from the developer of Titan Souls, which was released 6 years ago if you can believe it. While it does have quite a long cinematic portion, the glimpses of the action-adventure combat looks fantastic, being everything that I would expect from a modern entry where a hero has a nice mix of ranged and melee weapons with some impressive boss designs. Love this genre, so I'm all in, where it does have a tentative summer release window, so we should be playing this pretty soon. My most anticipated title of the year has to be The Last Faith, another Metroidvania title that launched its Kickstarter campaign 1 year ago, and in the months since then have been fairly active in terms of giving updates. It's a classic gothic horror entry, almost like the what-if scenario if Konami continued to make Castlevania games using high-bit 2D pixel art. Again, it nails all the elements that I look for, being a pixel art Metroidvania with fantastic combat, and given the success of the Kickstarter campaign and the frequent updates, I do have faith in this team. However, in the updates, they, like many other game developers, have been affected by COVID-19, although things seem to be on track, where hopefully it will release this year, taking the #1 spot. For more upcoming Metroidvania titles, check out this video and I will see you after the jump.